Family crisis intervention. Guys, let's face it. Every family that calls us is a crisis, and every person that's calling a treatment center today that is going to just go willingly has had a crisis. Nobody is calling us and nobody's looking for a treatment center because things are going well or there's a lull in the destructive behavior. Every family that calls us because something happened, something spiked, something hit them to where they have to do something different. The question is that crisis going to wear off and then you're going to go right back to where you were? Or are you going to understand that these aren't going to stop until you do something different? You know, one of the best things I'd ever seen in my life is this quote where it said, "Bottom is when things get worse faster than you could lower your standards." And what that means is that we have all these little crises in recovery, and until something significant happens, we don't address it. The same things happen with families. I can't begin to tell you how many families call our office in a crisis, and you follow up the next day and all of a sudden everything's fine. Somebody's gonna fix it, or they went and they got a job, or you had a talk with them and everything's fine. We follow up with you a week later and nothing's different. The problem is not drugs and alcohol. The crisis is the ongoing volatility of their behavior. And until that behavior is addressed and those thinking patterns are changed and their perception, their distorted perception is addressed, the crises are just going to keep coming. And if you want to keep living in that, downturn, that you can do that, but just remember it's going to keep coming until they address the problem that's causing the crisis. And for the family, you guys become so used to this up and down that it just becomes part of your life. And what happens is you're actually afraid to address the problem because you want to live in those moments where things are good and you want to pretend the crisis isn't happening. And then you brace for impact when it does. And lastly, you guys become accustomed to handling that crisis and it becomes part of your dysfunctional family system and it all gives you something to talk about. The biggest fear a family has is silence, is when things get better and there's no more crisis because now you got to look inward. It's real easy when your loved one's using drugs and alcohol and they're the focal point of the family system of dysfunction. When that goes away, that scares people because now the question is, what do I do next? And how do I look at myself? And how do I live a normal life again? Some of you watching this have not had that in a long time, and that actually scares you. So when you call in that crisis, just remember, it may subside for a while, but it's going to come back until you address yourselves and until your loved one addresses why it is that they keep going through this volatile behavior.